Hi everyone, my name is Bridget Froding, and in this video I will be analyzing the film aesthetics of Spike Lee's film BlacKkKlansman. This film came out in 2018, and it is a crime drama based on a true story about a black man who has recently been hired as a detective and uses his position to infiltrate and expose the KKK. Spike Lee has certainly made a name for himself in the entertainment industry as a film director, producer, screenwriter, and actor. Lee is known for creating films that are centered around the social injustices black people deal with. When directing films, Lee believes that how the camera is positioned and how it moves is crucial in telling the story. Lee, along with cinematographer Chase Irvin, ultimately made the decision to shoot BlacKkKlansman on film rather than digital because it enhances the time period of the film, which is the 1970s. Not only did they find that film would be the most appropriate choice, Irvin even mentioned, in his own words, "One of the big reasons we shot on 35mm film was because Kodak, Panavision, and Company 3 all came together to make it possible, and Kodak had just opened a lab in New York. It was serendipitous and guided me to think that film was the right choice." The one color that sticks out in the film as an indicator that it was an intentional choice is red. At the beginning of the film, a pro-segregation man called Dr. Kennebrew Beauregard, played by Alec Baldwin, is filming a propaganda video where he is yelling hateful speech about black people. While he is filming this, there are video clips being projected onto him, and many of them are in the color red. When the scene ends, Baldwin is silently staring at the camera with red projected onto him. For this scene, the color red evokes a sense of impending danger and fear as Baldwin's character argues against desegregation. As the film progresses, the color red is present again when KKK member Felix's wife is planting the bomb at Patrice's house. Connie is wearing an entirely red outfit, which also in this case causes the viewer to be afraid of her and hate her. Also, since we know Connie is planting a bomb, her red outfit induces stress because the audience is already on high alert from the crime she's about to commit. Next, I will talk about the character archetypes in the film. First and foremost, the protagonist Ron Stallworth is without a doubt the hero of the film. He is extremely courageous in his efforts of infiltrating the KKK as a black man, and does not let setbacks get in the way of his goal. At the end of the film, he's successful in achieving his goals because the KKK members of the Colorado Springs chapter were either killed or arrested. Next, while Patrice is certainly a hero in other ways, she fits into the archetype of the ruler. Not only is she quite literally a ruler because she is the president of the Black Student Union at her college, but she also embodies what it means to be a ruler. Patrice is responsible, organized, and creates order from chaos. Another character archetype in the film is Felix being the outlaw. Since he enters the screen, the audience detests him because, while, yes, he is a member of the KKK, he is also very aggressive toward Flip because he thinks that he is an undercover cop. Though he is ultimately right in his assumptions, Felix is disliked by other members of the group because he is rebellious and acts recklessly in his actions toward Flip, such as locking himself in a room with him to take a lie detector test. Overall, Felix is the outlaw because he breaks the rules and fights authority. Furthermore, the narrative style of BlacKkKlansman is that it is told in a primarily linear fashion, but there are aspects that would make some argue make the film non-linear and thereby contemporary. Before the story even begins, the film opens with a famous scene from the film Gone with the Wind. This scene consists of an overhead moving crane shot as a woman makes her way through injured and dead soldiers during the Civil War. Following the scene, Lee takes us to Baldwin's character filming his racist propaganda video. After this, we are finally taken to the meat of the film, the true story of Ron Stallworth infiltrating the Ku Klux Klan. This story is told in a completely linear manner with no flashbacks or flash-forwards. When the story of Ron Stallworth ends, Lee made the decision to insert video clips from modern-day events that reveal why this film is important. In doing so, Lee essentially is having the story fast-forward, so this could be argued as making the film non-linear. These video clips include shots of the riots that occurred in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017. In incorporating these videos, Lee wanted to make it clear to the audience that the issues discussed in BlacKkKlansman are still relevant today. The most important aspect of BlacKkKlansman is the portrayal of race. The members of the KKK vary in personalities, but they are each white, Christian, racist, homophobic, anti-Semitic, the list honestly goes on. Additionally, Lee made most of the members unintelligent and unattractive, for excuse of a better word, losers. These men are stereotypical of what one may think a member of the KKK would look like. While there are good people in the film such as Flip and Jimmy, the KKK members are the primary subjects of the portrayal of white people. Furthermore, the portrayal of black people in this film is overall good and non-problematic. Each black character is intelligent and wants to make a change in the country. The portrayal of white people in this film is not as friendly as the portrayal of black people, but the point of the film is to show how black people have been struggling to be treated by racist white people as equals for far too long. There are several editing techniques used in the film that make it stand out. For example, during Kwame Tore's speech to the Black Student Union of Patrice's school, there are several close-up shots of the audience members' faces. These portrait-like shots look as though the people are floating in space, which make it the most visually appealing part of the whole film. In addition to this editing technique, there is one scene in the film that is very powerful thanks to how it was put together. When the KKK Grand Wizard David Duke is in town, there is an initiation ceremony for new members of the KKK. While this is taking place, an older man is surrounded by the Black Student Union while he retells the story of when a young African American man by the name of Jesse Washington was lynched in 1916 in Texas. The film takes place in the 1970s. The production design had to be carefully executed in order to be accurate. The production designer, Kurt Beach, described how the police station is actually more telling of one from the 1960s because they built it to be very clean but kept destroying it to make it feel more lived in. For the house that Felix lives in, Beach wanted a house that was reflective of who he is. Felix is a very conservative man who is not progressing as society becomes more accepting of others. He is a bigot and is essentially stuck in an era where less people had rights. Because of this, Beach wanted his house to look as though it was his parents' house from the 50s. It lacks in personality and color, making it drab and dreary. Music choices in this film are also fitting for the scenes they take place in. One song that really stuck out to me is When Too Late to Turn Back Now by the Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose, played in a powerful scene of Ron and Patrice. In this scene, they are dancing together in a bar, singing along to this song about falling in love. The song's powerful choice because it enhances the feeling of a blossoming love between Ron and Patrice. Not only are they dancing to the song, but the other bar patrons are as well. At this moment in the bar, with this song playing, there is a sense of togetherness and freedom in a time of adversity. BlacKkKlansman is full of very important imagery that enhances the themes of race. For example, when Ron walks through the empty field where Flip was shooting with members of the KKK, he approaches the shooting targets. These shooting targets, which were not revealed until this moment, are black people with enhanced features that drive home the racism. This is important imagery because not only is it telling of how hateful the KKK is, but Ron, a black man, is discovering them and then leaves by walking in the direction they are facing. With BlacKkKlansman being a social justice film, two of the main themes are race and justice. First and foremost, this film's central idea is race and how being a certain race comes with either power and privilege, whereas being another race causes one to be oppressed and even hated. We see this theme throughout the film, where racist white people have been getting away with their prejudices and even murder. For example, one especially racist cop that Ron works with is Master Patrolman Andy Landers. Ron finds out that Landers' racism and superiority complex had gone so far as to shoot a young African-American boy, killing him. The theme of justice comes in at the end when Ron, Flip, and other members of the force record all of the racist remarks Landers is saying to Ron and Patrice, and then arresting him as a result of police and sexual misconduct.